are today is in some ways such a far cry from where we were almost 20 years ago. We have over 100 kids.
We have 130 kids now. But back then, we learned that the government was very anxious to build a children's village because there are so many kids at risk living on the streets. And this is how it started.
I was suddenly a mom of 17 kids, and I knew that for my kids to heal, for my kids to get through the trauma that they had experienced, they needed that strength of family. An orphan is somebody that's alone, but a child who's part of a family is never alone.
First key to our structure here at the village is that every grown-up sees or considers themselves as parents. And this is actually common in Africa because that's how it is here.
The house mamas were like my parents, I can say, and they really cared for us. It's the idea of having like a lot of people who know me better than I do know myself, and they can help me in every way. And I'm so thankful to have such a family.
It was so special growing up here with people coming from other countries who came in as volunteers and visitors, and then later they became part of our extended family. This did not only teach me my good English, but also it gave me a unique perspective. And now, wow, I cannot believe I have so many aunties and uncles all over the world.
First 17 kids that we lived with, they gave us a very good lesson on what kids need to on a daily basis. And we came to realize that whatever our kids need is what the community needed. One of the biggest problems we wanted to address is education, because we believe that our kids are supposed to have the best of the education. And we didn't have a good primary school education. We didn't have a good secondary school. So, come on, India used to joke and call them bad daycare. I grew up in the vicious circle of poverty. And I do believe that the way out of the vicious circle of poverty is getting the best of the education. So, that being the case, we decided to go into partnership with the local government to co-manage our 2 primary schools and 1 secondary school. Previously, this primary school were actually on the bottom of 102 schools that we have in our district. But as we are talking today, the primary school is in the top 4% in the country. The secondary school is actually in the top 20% of the country. In order for the kids to go to school, they needed to be healthy. The same applied in order for the parents to be able to pay for their kids to go to school, they needed to be healthy as well. There was no any healthcare system available at that point. So we decided to open our first rural healthcare clinic. And we have been providing free healthcare, for the surrounding community of 10,000 people. When we first arrived here, the employment rate was only 18%. Actually, it was not employment. It was just a casual labor that people were picking coffee. And only 18% were employed. So in order to tackle that, we decided to develop something new that we call Economic Empowerment Program. By doing so, we brought small groups of villagers, we gave them business training, and we started giving them small loans to start small businesses. So when there is an economic opportunity, it enables people to start businesses. And when they become successful, they're able to build houses. They are able to send their kids to school. Actually, their quality of life really improves. This is our holistic approach. That is actually the key to open up and breaking the vicious circle of poverty in this community. And that's a key. It's something very important to me.
As Peter mentioned, when we take on a partnership with the government school, we build and renovate infrastructure, we hire and train teachers and supporting staff, we develop curriculum, and we provide lunches to students. We've done this now for 2 primary schools and 1 secondary school. The evidence of our impact is shown in national school rankings and the doubling of school retention rates. Still, 50% of the secondary school graduates do not qualify for A-levels or university, which is the highest level of education. We found that much of this was caused by the challenges that girls face. For example, long walking distances to school, the safety concerns that they have along those walks, and burdensome household responsibilities. So, we began to build dormitories. Those dorms now hold over 300 students, and with an additional dorm almost completed, this will increase to 450 students. This allows students to focus on learning and improve their academic performance, hence increasing their chances of going on to college and university. So that when these young people become accountants and medical assistants in the future, they will have an impact on their living standards for both their parents and their grandparents. One education leads to stability and impact for 3 generations. As we look into the future, education will continue to be our biggest investment area. Alongside this, we'll open a new early childhood education centre in a second location. And we will award over 40 scholarships for college and university to promising students who otherwise would not have the capacity to pay school fees.
We also know that healthy minds are crucial to doing well in school and to having successful lives. So we are bringing focus to a mental health program for teens and children. It's a new and growing field in Tanzania, and we are proud to be at the forefront of it. To meet the need for economic well-being, we are expanding our portfolio of small loans and trainings in business, farming, and handicrafts so that our clients can sustain or grow their businesses.
We still see our family as the heart of what we do. The youngest is 6 months old, our oldest is 30 years old. We still have 45 students in colleges and universities. We are very lucky, we have launched 42 so far. They're out there in the world working.
This is my brother Ishmael. He has completed his university studies and now he's working on getting his aeronautical engineering license. This is one of my sisters, India, who is in med school now. My brother Juma, who works as a ranger and a guide in Serengeti. And this is me. I work in hospital administration. I just got married last year.
So whether our kids are toddlers or they are going to universities and colleges, when they decide to come home and they come back home with their kids of their own, because I am my grandpa now, this place remains to be their home. It belongs to them. So we know there are children out there who still need a loving family. And there are families out there which still need good healthcare, good education, and sustainable income. So we're gonna still keep going. We are opening the door to futures no longer defined by inherited hardship, but by possibility.